All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Honor of the Queen, book number 2 in David Weber's fantastic military space opera science fiction series. This book came out in 1993. I've been following this series for quite some time. I have all the books. I'll just show you my David Weber collection. There's all my Honor Harrington books. And then up there we've got all my Safehold series books. So I'm collecting those two series by David Weber, the Honor Harrington and the Safehold series. And we're slowly going to be reading through all of them and giving a review of all of them. And I've done a handful of them so far. I made a mistake, guys. As I was thinking of reading another Honor Harrington book, I realized that I read them out of order. If you look on my YouTube channel, I reviewed book 1 on Basilisk Station, and then I reviewed book 3. I totally had a brain, fart and skipped over book 2. So it's like, so there is a review up on my YouTube channels of book 1 and book 3 of this series if you want to watch those. But we're going to backtrack and do book 2 now. And then I'll do book 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, and later on. And hopefully I'll do those in order because I want to kind of keep them in order consistently. But I've already it up. If you want to watch those other 2 reviews of books 1 and 3, just Google. Here's the thing. Here's how you do that. Type in my last name into your YouTube search bar, and then type in David Weber's name, and those book reviews will magically appear upon your television screen through some sort of a weird internet sorcery that I don't quite get. Speaking of David Weber, I've met the guy at several book signings, at several of the Comic-Cons I've been to, at the Bard's Tower bookstore, where we sell books and sign them. I've sat next to him and signed books. In fact, the last one I went to, which I think was Pensacola Comic-Con a few years ago, it's when this book came out of the Safehold series, and I got it, and he signed it for me. And he was such a gentleman. He also bought one of my books, so that was cool. But anyway, he signed it for me. It's the only David Weber I've got signed, but I always show off my signed books because that's the type of a narcissist I am. And then let's talk about the cover first. Because I love graphic design and cover illustration. This cover is done by David Mattingly. Who's the guy that did all of the Honor Harrington covers anyway. But it's kind of cool. It's got this floating like a hovercrafty thing that looks like the Luke Skywalker car from Tatooine. And then it's got Honor Harrington standing up. Not very safe. That doesn't look very safe to be standing in that. And she's got her little pet meerkat, tree cat thing on her. I can't remember what race it is, but it's a 6-legged cat, bobcat looking thing, and it's on her. You can kind of see it up there. But one of the cool thing, and it says the cat's name is Nimitz. I think. Yeah, Nimitz, I think. It's a meerkat. Is it a meerkat companion? I don't know what it is. Anyway, the book starts out, of course, the main conflict is the Manticoran Navy versus the Republic of Haven. Big starships, big Star Destroyers type ships, big Battlestar Galactica type ships out in space, blowing each other up. That's what military science fiction is. Honor Harrington herself is in book number 2, very young. She's been made the captain of a new starship. Of course, she's female and young. Of course, she's got to deal with all of the misogyny that swirls around a young female rising up in the ranks of a very sort of masculine type of military structure. And then the book even kind of spins into more of that theme as we get into it. So now Honor, we open up the book, she's kind of around her family, which we don't get to see her family dynamic much in these books, but in this book we do. We find out her mother is part Asian descent. Her mother really just would rather her get married rather than because Honor Harrington has no interest in romantic relationships, much to the consternation of her mother. So there's that dynamic. And then so we get the banter between them, and then we get to our main plot, which is the planet of Grayson. The planet of Grayson is a planet of polygamists where the women have zero rights, and Honor shows up kind of at this planet, and just the fact that she's a star captain and has the right to speak her mind and has a little bit of authority and power is basically an affront to the entire religious system of this planet. And so then we get that whole thing. And one of the cool things I liked about this book is her little tree cat, her little six-legged pet named Nimitz. We get to see this little guy do battle. There's some scenes where he protects Honor Harrington, and he's just a vicious, feral little kitty. You know, he's a nice little kitty that you can pet, but don't, like a house cat. You know, house cats seem nice. They got an easy life. They just lay around. But when shit hits the fan, a house cat will you up. And you don't want that to happen. That's kind of, we get some scenes like that with the cat. I really like that. And of course, at the end, we get a big battle, space battle conclusion, which is kind of the theme of the whole thing, you know, but it's over this planet Grayson. I'm going to read the back jacket copy just to give you a better idea of what's going on in this wonderful book without spoiling anything further. So, it's the right woman, but the wrong place. It's hard to give peace a chance when the other side regards war as the necessary prelude to conquest, and a sneak attack is the best means to that end. That's why the Kingdom of Manticore, and that's the side that Honor Harrington is on. The Kingdom of Manticore needs allies against the so-called Republic of Haven, and the planet Grayson is just the right strategic place to make a very good ally indeed. But Her Majesty's Foreign Office had overlooked a minor cultural difference with Grayson. When they chose Honor Harrington to carry the flag, turns out women on the planet Grayson are without rank or rights. Honor's very presence is an intolerable affront to every male on the planet. At first, Honor doesn't take it personally. Where she comes from, gender discrimination is, barely a historical memory. A lot of these books focus on the gender discrimination. I will tell you that right now. That Honor Harrington is a female captain, and a lot of people in these books, from book 1 to book 30, they don't like it. Anyway, where Honor comes from, gender discrimination is a barely historical memory, right up there in significance with the fear of the left-handed. But in the time such treatment, okay, I should just not read. I should not read out loud. My God, I'm going to fall over. We'll edit most of the parts of this video right out. Anyway, that's the thing. They go to Grayson. The Grayson people are polygamists. They don't want no woman telling them what to do. And that's and then there's a big space battle at the end. But everything about that is dope. I mean, I make it sound really simplistic, but it's a dope book. I love this series. This is a cool book. This is like a 9.5 out of 10 for real, folks. For real.